Welcome to Memorium. Today I'm reading a poem that was written in a time of conflict, but not perhaps in the kind of conflict that most of us watching this or who know me would perhaps expect to hear a poem from. It was written by a poet called Joseph Plunkett. Joseph Plunkett was one of the 6 leaders of the Easter Rising in Dublin in 1916, who was executed by the British in Kilmainham jail. Joseph Plunkett was a leader of the Provisional Irish Republic, you might call it, the provisional government of the Irish Republic. He was one of those who stood at the steps of the GPO, the General Post Office, in Dublin at Easter 1916 and proclaimed the Irish Republic, which led to the very short-lived rebellion in Dublin, which was put down by the British and by the Royal Irish Constabulary, I guess, which cost many lives, mostly Irish lives actually, and which resulted in the arrest and the summary trial and execution of the leaders of the Rising. Amongst them was Joseph Plunkett. Joseph Plunkett was not really a soldier. He was a visionary and a poet and a bit of a mystic. He had a lot in common with W.B. Yeats, who we heard from the other day, but not so much in common. Joseph Plunkett decided that for his idealism, for the sake of his idealism and his strong belief in the right of the Irish people to determine their own destiny, he should take up arms against the occupying forces, as they saw it, of the British Empire. He was captured. He was imprisoned in Kilmainham, and on the 4th of May 1916 was shot to death by a British firing squad. On the night before his death, he was permitted to marry his fiancée, Grace Gifford. Of course, it was a grim wedding in many respects. I've sat in the chapel in Kilmainham jail and indeed in the courtyard where the men were executed. And even now, many, many years after it was closed, it still exudes that grimness that many prisons do, and particularly prisons where executions have taken place of various kinds. But the wedding present he gave to Grace Gifford is the poem I'm about to read, something which extolled his Christian faith and his belief in Christ and in his presence everywhere. So in the midst of conflict, this is what Joseph Plunkett wrote and gave to Grace Gifford on the night before they on this earth were parted forever. I see his blood upon the rose, and in the stars the glory of his eyes. His body gleams amid eternal snows, his tears fall from the skies. I see his face in every flower. The thunder and the singing of the birds are but his voice, and carven by his power, rocks are his written words. All pathways by his feet are worn. His strong heart stirs the ever-beating sea. His crown of thorns is twined with every thorn. His cross is every tree. Stay safe, people.